Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Hey, what is good? Ladies and gentlemen, Cards back, bringing you more college basketball 2023, brand new from Wolverine Studios. And we're back trying to bring my Louisville Cardinals back to relevance. You know, whatever we can do to get them away from that 4-win disaster that they just experienced in real life. And so we got through the first recruiting season last year. Given that we're like in the 40s, prestige-wise, it might take us just a minute. Just getting my chat up, making sure everything's good and live. Here we are. We're in the practice/recruiting stage. What I want to do today is try to get you guys all the way through this season and then maybe get some transfers, maybe even the next recruiting class. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how quick we get through this. And I got my bat phone over here in case my kids start going absolutely insane. So we'll keep an eye on that. Looks like we're live. The official Cards device says that we're live. So let's just take a real quick look at this roster. We've got this freshman that's all right. This center freshman is all right. Power forward. I mean, it's not a fantastic roster. Our best players are young. We do have some decent guards. I don't remember if we set up the depth and everything last time, but let's just take a quick look. This looks mostly like a depth chart I would set up, and we don't have a lot of depth anyway, so we're going to have to roll with that. Strategy-wise, we can double-check that we've got everything set up the way that we like it. We do not, so let's run through this real quick. You guys know I like to run pretty standard offenses, just motion and triangle. That way, if I think I'm going to be at a mid-major team doing some mid-major stuff, I'll try to get into some of these other things and specialize a little bit. I just like to go get the best players. And so for that, I'll run some pretty default offenses. 50% motion, 50%, not Princeton, no, 50% triangle. I find offensive set usage, like we can't run a motion or a triangle at all. So this might have to stay at 50. I normally don't like this any lower than 60, even with like nothing but freshmen. To me, what differentiates, I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble winning on the road, right? I think if you've got high-level people, yeah, I got the mic set up. Thanks. Chris says we're live and we're good to go, and I did correct my mic, so I'm really sorry for the bad audio on the last one. But to me, what differentiates between a team that can win on the road and a team that plays at home is whether you can run a lot of your sets. You know, you're on the road, everything's going crazy. Your players, naturally, your skill's going to be a little bit lower. So hopefully you got some sets you can fall back on. Obviously, this year we don't have that at all. I expect this year to be a disaster. I am in challenge mode, and I sincerely fear for my job. So we are going to just have to cross our fingers that these freshmen do something to get us across the finish line. What's up, Agalia? Yeah, you ready to see? I might be running them into the ground. It might well be happening here today. These are the sets that I like to run. I absolutely loathe having this number this low, and honestly, by the end of the season, I might switch this up. We'll see. I don't mind this. I like to run heavy into the man. We'll run full court if we do want to go. We'll run full court man-to-man if we... Actually, no. Let's do a little 1-2-1-1. How about that? 100% press on the 1-2-1-1. So that sets up our strategy. Now we need to go make our practice plan match that. I really need to see how to get my device not to go black every 30 seconds. All right, so we're going to clear this practice plan. I like to have 10% of my zone attacks because I do not want to be getting hosed there. 15. Let's go 5, because we're not going to go heavy on the press yet. Not with a bad team. Maybe as I go over the years, we'll get more and more into it. So that gives me 45 minutes here. All right, 15 and 15 on our offenses. And where do we want to put more time? Probably into the offenses. Let's go 20 and 20. And the last bit, Let's put it into our man-to-man. And you got to hit save changes on this page. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, save changes here or anything you're doing is worthless. Josh the Best, what's up? Lucas, what's up? What season is this? Season number 1, numero uno. All we've done so far is go through the recruiting. I'm just now setting up my offenses. We're going to take a quick look at, we've already looked at depth. I'm going to take a second look at the roster. Just to make sure, because we've got a couple of these 2-star guards that don't look very different just in star ratings. But then we come into like, I don't know, scoring, handling. It's kind of a mix between these two dudes. I'd probably lean Barnes here. Isaac Green's actually pretty decent. I do not know how Cunningham is a 3-star with 4 potential. He's actually fairly bad. And Bowman isn't much better, although he does have the good inside scoring. So, yeah, honestly, this season is probably going to be even worse than I was kind of thinking. Shooting guard, we really have nothing. I guess Randall's all right, so we probably want to go Barnes-Randall. We'll see if that's what we're rolling. Barnes and Randall. Yeah, the AI, either I got it last time or the AI already scoped that out. So that's what we're going to run with. That's our practice settings. We're ready to go. I ought to have Kentucky should be defaulted as a non-conference rival. I will double check it for you, Agalia. Yeah, that's defaulted. So we're ready to roll. We're just going to roll through this. This is going to be a garbage season with garbage results. And let's actually, before we get rolling too quickly, take a real brief glance and see. And you can see still the 48 prestige, which is garbage. Let's take a glance and see what they're. So they're looking for us to qualify for the NIT. I don't think we can do that. Top half of the conference, probably not. I think we can finish above 500 if we have a bad out-of-conference schedule. Let's see what our schedule looks like. Yeah, Virginia lost in round 1. That was hard. I felt bad. I did actually pick Fordham or Furman, whoever it was that beat him. I picked that just because I feel like Virginia is one of those teams that's either going to win the championship or they're going to lose in the first round. That's how they do. All right, this is actually kind of a brutal out of conference. I got BYU on a neutral court. We're at Baylor, at Stanford, at Cincy, and then the game at UK. So, yeah, going 500 is going to be a struggle. That's going to be the goal, and we'll just keep our fingers crossed. But really, we just want to get through this season, and if we can have at least 60% job security after this season, I feel confident that the guys we've got coming in can go 500, and hopefully we land a couple of transfers to go along with that. So we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, it's a lot of away games, and hey, another player just came on in, and I was wondering how that was going to work because if you remember, we ran out of budget last time. So, along with the class that we already had, we're going to add Abdul Kendrick into the mix. Who do I think is going to win it all? I have no idea. Don't ask me. I picked Purdue, so I'm the last person that you should be asking. At this point, it seems like it's going to be Alabama. And to be honest, I just tried to pick somebody other than Alabama. It seems like it's going to be Alabama. But don't count Houston out. If that guard, if Sasser, if he's healthy, Houston can definitely battle it out. So we'll see. Abdul Kendrick, top 25 at Memphis Hoops. So now we got 4 players. We can kind of build around these guys. We think they're going to be all right. So next year, obviously, is going to be an improvement. Hopefully one of these small forwards can step into that power forward role because I got absolutely no faith in the power forward that we have right now. Or the other thing we could do, if our center sticks around, then we can bump our current center down or bump Hughes down because I think those will both be starters. So really, if we can figure out a point guard for next year, we will be all right-ish. Yeah, Alabama was such a strong pick, and I was just trying to find a way, not even find a way for them not to win it, just like the NCAA tournament's always unpredictable. So what you think's going to happen never happens, which is why I picked Purdue, because I didn't really think it would happen, and I guess I was right about that. And the other thing is, I didn't put any money on it. This was a pool that I put a bracket in against my kids and my wife. So I'm not doing great, but there's nothing on the line either. Breeze, what's up, buddy? Glad to have you in stream. I am absolutely daydreaming about my Cardinals playing again in March, playing in the dance, playing in the Sweet 16. Louisville's had a good recruiting week. I know if you're not a Louisville fan, if you're just a college basketball fan or just a sports fan in general that keeps a tab on this tangentially or whatever, Louisville picked up 2 weeks ago. We got a 5-star center, and then last week we got a 5-star small forward who's going to reclassify, and then we got a former 5-star point guard who's transferring over from Illinois. So, add that in with what we've already got, and I'm optimistic next year that they can turn it around. I'm not sold on Coach Kenny Payne. Hope the best for him. I didn't see anything this year that suggests that he's the one. But I didn't see anything out of that roster either this year or last year that suggested they had any clue what they were doing. So we'll bring in some new guys and see if that fixes the coaching problems. Anyway, I'm doing my best. I got streamer beverages. I just made a fresh run to the store. I got as many as I can take, and it might take all of them for me to ignore the IRL Louisville season and just focus on this. Joshua, I'll go buy cards on stream. So that's what we'll roll with. If you want to get real technical, it's cards 1125, but my friends call me cards. Oh, we got to fix our roster. Hold on. We need to go to depth. All right, what have we done? We don't have a shooting guard here. Ugh. All right, so maybe I did not adjust this, so let's roll like this. Point guard, shooting guard. Now. Oh, how exciting. That's all fixed. That's correct. That's fixed. And this one needs a center. Let's get... No. Oh, and we need a scrappy point guard. End of game type stuff. Blowout type stuff. Alright, now we at least have a legit roster. Alright, now let's get into these games. Usually can't watch the stream, so you catch it on the YouTube. Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, Agalia, this roster is 100% depressing. It's hideous. We can lose this game. I mean, we're playing Ryder at home. We could easily lose this. Woo! 5 points. If we're going to go 500, if we can go 500, then we should at least maintain around like 60-ish coaching security. And I feel confident with the class I'm bringing in, plus fingers crossed, maybe some transfers. Feel confident that I can survive and get it going on the right trajectory so that we can save our job here and move along. Or else I might suffer the... I guess in this situation, I am Kenny Payne, right? So this first season that we're going to have here, I mean, I've already won one game, so we're 25% of the way there. But anyway, I feel his issues, right? You come in, you can't necessarily take too much crap for the roster that you inherit. Even though on paper they look good, we did have a lot of 4 stars. Maybe I think our power forward was a former 5-star who transferred in from Tennessee. So, I mean, on paper there was some talent, but for whatever reason they didn't gel. On-court leadership, work ethic, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it was. I wasn't there in practice. I just saw what was on the court, and what was on the court wasn't very good. So, I don't know the reason behind it. I just hope it gets better, and that's the same thing that you guys are probably going to be saying to me at the end of this stream. So, now we got to send this ragtag, bad news cards on the road to Illinois State. Woo, pulled off another 1-point victory, so we're going to get excited about these really lame victories because that's literally the best we can do. That's all we've got, but we started off 2-0. Now, I wouldn't at all doubt... there was a minute-long ad, so I didn't hear anything you said. Yeah, Josh, I touched on that. I'm glad that you catch them on the YouTube channel after the fact. I know that a lot of people actually do. I don't think we've ever had more than maybe 20 or 25 online for a stream. But we definitely have a handful of videos that have gone over, 1,000 views, 1,500 views here and there. Some of the top 10 tip videos have got, a couple thousand. I don't know how many. There's Mick Payne. Speaking of Kenny. So yeah, a lot of people are in your situation where they're just catching it on YouTube after the fact. And, I'm good with that. I'm glad, I appreciate people that show up in stream to chat because it gives me, somebody to interact with, somebody to bounce ideas off of. In Agalia's case, sometimes he gives me some crap so that he keeps me honest and grounded and adds a little tension to it. And sometimes he's just here to feel the pain with me when my roster looks as bad as this one looks, so that at least I'm not the only one saying this is a roster full of guys that are trying to dribble with their knees. This roster sucks. So if even, my CBGM streaming GM Games rival, Agalia, who we are absolutely nothing but rivals, if my rival's going to come in and cut me slack and say that this roster sucks, that lends some credibility to it. This is a bad roster. Bad things are going to happen. This 2-0 start may be the only 2 games we win until we get into conference play. I certainly I'm not optimistic about playing BYU. The only thing that gives me hope is they didn't win their first game, and this is at least neutral. This isn't a true road game. This is neutral. Galia's already laughing at me. He foresees the loss. Here it comes. Woo! 3-0, baby! Don't mess with us. Reggie Barnes, Bowman, and Darius Randall. So the 2 guards that I was holding out some hope for, and then even one of the freshmen. So they say the reward for good work is more work. Winning that game, now we got to turn around and play Kansas State, who is 2-1, which I take to mean they don't dribble the basketball with their knees, which I take to mean they will probably beat us. But hey, that's why they play the game, right? Ooh, doesn't look like it wants to load. Let's give it a second to think. Bounce over. Change the screen. Change it up on them. All right, 3-0. Coach Cards has never lost a game. Never lost a game since being hired at Louisville last month. Can we keep the streak rolling? Doubtful. Just got smashed on a neutral court by Kansas State. So that's the type of season that we're in for. No, my players aren't good. And that actually brings up a good point. I don't remember if I changed my staff when I first came on. I did not. This is Louisville's real-life assistant coaching staff, I think. I know Danny Manning, Nolan Smith. I assume Josh Jameson. I don't know. Oh, Virginia's got recruits coming in. Kyle Guy was a baller, wasn't he? Boy, that dude could score. Kyle Guy was a real one. He was on the championship team, right? Didn't he have the bandana guy? I think he was a shooter. But yeah, that was absolutely brutal way for Virginia to go out, especially in the hands of their, 6-year point guard. Just making an absolutely brain-dead play there at the last second when he had a lot easier plays to be made. So, I feel your pain. We've been there. I mean, you saw it. Virginia was, Louisville was beating Virginia by, I want to say 5 with 4 seconds to go. This was 5-6 years ago, and y'all still beat us. It was the dumbest loss I've ever seen. So, we've all been there. Now I get Lipscomb at home. And now, looking at the preseason, this looked like maybe a win at home, maybe one of those that we could get by on. But now they're 3-1, so I have my doubts. Whoa, we pull it out, baby. Let's go. Keeping it real. All right, 4-1. Realistically, we only need to get to about, I think you can go 500 at around 14 wins. So we really only need about 10 more. And that's going to be a big stretch. This is going to get a lot worse before it gets any better at all. There's no possible way more than 2 guys out of this starting lineup are still starters next year. Hopefully, all 4 of our freshmen start. Hopefully, we get some transfers and none of these guys start, if we're being honest. Yeah, that was a brutal way for that guy to end his career. Yes, Bowman's my center, and that's the only guy on the team that's worth anything. Actually, I take that back. The small forward's also decent. Wait. Is he the one that was decent? Let's double check. We'll take one more. I hate to look at this roster screen because it kind of is making me throw up in my mouth every time that I do. But let's take a quick look at the roster screen just as a refresher. Because Bowman, he's been showing up every game that we're winning. He's doing very well. And yeah, so his defense is on the low end of what I would prefer for starters. And also his scoring is on the low end of what I prefer for starters. But this is a fantastic example. I tell people all the time, if your guys got a really good way to score, especially inside scores, these guys that have 9 or 10 on inside field goals who play, if your offense puts them on the inside, if their height and weight dictate that they should be on the inside, they have this rating, and they can rebound, man, you can get some scores out of that. Anybody that played the one and only season of the Wolverine Sports Pro Basketball League online with them in their official league, there was definitely a guy that did exactly that. I think he had like 4 scoring, but he was 10 field goal inside. He was a power forward. He had good rebounding, and he put up like 25, 30 a game. So that is a strategy for success. Isaac Green also theoretically should be good. So we'll keep an eye on that. But there's not a whole lot of people to get him the ball. So we'll see. Yeah, it's hard to make the NBA if you're only 5'9". That's for sure. I mean, you think back, great ACC players, like even Russ Smith, couldn't really catch on in the NBA, and I think he was 6'2"-ish. All right, now here's a game that I absolutely thought would be a beatdown preseason, but now I look at Baylor, they're sitting 1-3, and that's early season. I put more stock into that because they're probably playing, hopefully, some really bad teams, hopefully some teams worse than us. So let's see, maybe their roster is worse than ours is. You never know. Cross our fingers, see what happens. But the bad news is we're on the road. So even if they are really bad, 2 really bad teams on the road tends to favor the home team. Woo, but we get it, 14 points. Bowman pulling 16 boards. I've got to think that means Bowman is the only guy on the court that knows what a rebound is. Like everybody else has got to be like 5'5" or something. That's right, beat up game, Breeze. Heck yeah, bud. Beat up game. 5-1. So, I mean, and look at what we got though. At Stanford, they're a good team. That's a loss. At Cincy's a loss. At number 2, 7-1 UK, that's a loss. So, we got 3 straight losses coming up, and absolutely no hope in sight. Really, I think until we hit conference play, we got to get some home conference games against some bad teams. And see 5-1 early season is absolute best case scenario in my opinion. Honestly, I didn't know if we could get better than 4-2. So, yeah, pretty much our center right now is our will. Like, see, Stanford's got a really bad net here, but they're 4-1, which tells me at least they're beating teams they should beat, and that means they should beat us, in my eyes. So I don't expect anything but a loss out of this. Well, I think I got some background processes or something that's kind of messing up some of these loading screens. So that's on my end. This usually only happens, like Steam just decides to download stuff randomly when I'm not paying any attention. All right, let's see. Maybe we get lucky. I sincerely doubt it. Oh, yeah, 22-point beatdown. Bowman's still playing well, but we're not even going to beat decent teams on the road. We're really bad on the road. So we're going to get smashed in these 2 games. Now, we do have this home game against what appears to be a bad Southern Illinois team coming up. So that could be win number 6. And again, we're only trying to get to about 14. Let's see. What would that put us at? If we get to 6-4, I got to see when the conference games start because we will have 20 conference games. And we can probably only win 8 of those if we get like best case scenario. So, yeah, this is going to be bad against UC. Yeah, I think I'm optimistic that we can beat Southern Illinois. I don't want to say we should beat anyone, but now they're 0-4. So that tells me they are not taking care of business at all, and that's a possibility for us. All right, so let's see what happens. UC should probably pound us, and they take care of their business. 21-point win for UC. Not at all a surprise there. Okay, so we do get into conference matches after Southern Illinois. So let's assume if we get 6-4, right, and then 20 conference games, 8-12. Does 8-12 put us at right at 14-14? But then we would play in a conference tournament, and so we either need to win 9 in conference, or we would need to win the first game of the conference tournament. All right, so it looks like 15 is going to be our magic number. If we can get to 15, that's a 500 record, and that makes me feel very good, very, very confident that I can save my job here. If we can't at least get to 500, that's when it's going to get interesting. That's when we might be on the hot seat, even in year 2. Because we got 5 goals. If y'all don't know, like in challenge mode, the goals... Josh says we're going to lose by 30 against Kentucky. We're going to lose by 50 against Kentucky. We're at Kentucky. They're 8-1, number 3 in the country, and we have a roster of dudes that me, Josh, Breeze, Agelia, and Chris could probably beat at the YMCA. So we're like, Kentucky's going to blow the doors off of us. It's going to be really, really laughable. Which normally would really upset me, but after watching this season of Louisville basketball IRL, like, I'm kind of used to it, kind of numb to it right now. So yeah, if we're on the hot seat in year 2, like, that's when it gets iffy. Oh, but anyway, I was going to explain how the goals work, or at least how my interpretation of how they work. So we got 4 goals. Basically, each one of these is going to count for 10% on your job security. So, like, if you hit 2 and lose 2, you're probably not going to change. If you miss 3 and only hit 1, you're probably losing 20%. If we lose all 4 of these, we're probably dropping to 60%. That's kind of how I've seen it work in the past. Again, I haven't run through as many seasons on this year's version, and when I did, I started off also with Louisville, but I started off with a much better roster, even though this had the same bad prestige. And I think I didn't qualify for the NIT or in the first season, but I do think I actually hit all 3 of these other goals and then never failed like any other serious goals. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're 13 and very short. Have you seen the roster that we have? It's really ugly. All right, let's just pound through these games. I hate having bad seasons. I hate trying to find something to talk about during a bad season. I hate sitting here trying to figure out if I'm going to get fired or not. I just want to get past this game, which is going to be the one that hurts my heart the most. And then we'll go from there. I like to have like a pen or something just to fiddle with. Zags keeping it real at home. A little 19-point win for them. All right. I feel like I should just like close my eyes and move past this. I had to nudge it again. Or was I not to the right date? Oh! Eat it! L's up, baby. 77-76. We beat UK at UK. They're number 8. What happened in that game? You've got to be shitting me. There's no way. There's no way. What the hell happened? At Rupp. At Rupp we did that. All right. threes is one thing. We hit a third of ours. They only went 18%. We had more fouls, more turnovers. We won the boards by 5. And that was Cunningham? Cunningham went crazy on the boards? But then Green and Bowman are the ones putting it in? Hold on. All right, so Isaac Green, the freshman small forward, had himself a game. And that looks like, that's just volume scoring there. So it's Bowman going 7 for 11 on field goals. So he just beat him in the paint. Here we go. So their center got in bad foul trouble. So who did they put in? A forward, and a forward. Okay, so they could only get 9 minutes out of their center, and they did not have a center to match up on Bowman. So Bowman just went to work inside. Wow. Yeah, I think the NCAA, Lucas is right, man. I think the NCAA Kentucky does have a history of point shaving. So that should have been like I said, a 50-point game. Should have been way worse than that. Wow. Hey. Well, they call that any other game that's streamer loot, right? Streamer loot. I think that's the meme or whatever. Like if you're on stream, you just get stupid lucky. So yeah, one thing I will recommend, you do get a lot more wins if you stream. There's code built into the back of every game in existence that can understand if you're streaming online. And they just want to, they're trying to promote their product. So it knows I'm online. It hooked me up. And we take down the Wildcats in the most embarrassing defeat in their history. That was the most garbage roster I've ever seen. That was actually very reminiscent. I want to say 97. 98. So Kentucky won in 90. Kentucky won the championship in 96. And then I think they were runners up in 97 and then won again in 98. I think 98, we actually beat them. And we didn't have a very good roster at all. Like, we maybe made the tournament, maybe the second round. And they ended up winning the championship. That would have been Tubby Smith's first season. But, yeah, that reminds me of one of those. You never know what's going to happen in a rivalry game. And so the 98 game that I'm talking about is an example of that. But in here, like I said, we had the center. You get a big guy that can score inside, and you foul everybody else out. It can happen. Surely didn't expect it, but you can see it can happen. Make sure we don't have any crazy email situations going on. All right, let's see if we can keep it alive. So we got the big win that we needed. Now, no stupid losses. Win this game against Southern Illinois. Barely. We just barely pulled that out at home. But a win's a win. I will take it. My goodness. I'm still like way up here after beating Kentucky on that. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. 7-3, baby. Let's do this. All right, so I'm moving ahead a lot more hopeful now. Going to get some ice cream. Yeah, party it up, man. Everybody, go get ice cream. Go get cake. Go get yourself an adult beverage. Go get yourself whatever it is that you celebrate a big win with. Get that big MJ cigar going, whatever you need. That was a big one. That felt good. And that could be a game saving. That could be a saving win. You know what I mean? We were very much talking about being on track to get fired, potentially, in Season 2. Not right now, but in Season 2. And, whew, that turns it around, doesn't it? It's got a different feel now, doesn't it? This is still a really bad roster, but I guess everybody else must be really bad. Like, I don't know. It's going so much better than it should so far. I will say normally these things tend to even out. You know, it goes better than it should for a while, and then it goes worse than it should for a while. So I'm fully just waiting for that pendulum to swing back. And it's probably going to start right here. Even though we have a couple home games against conference opponents, they look pretty good. North Carolina, Georgia Tech, only 3 losses between them. So, could be rough. It could be rough, but our magic number is 8. 8 more wins, and we're guaranteed a 500 record. Unless we somehow lost in the first round of the conference tournament and got invited to some other postseason tournament. Barring that, our magic number is 8. 8 more wins. I'll survive this save. I'll survive this rebuild. All right, nothing too exciting here. Tell you what, my number one priority after I end this stream is to figure out how to change the timer on this to like 5 minutes or something. I swear to God, it's on like 15 seconds. North Carolina and Louisville from the Yum Center. Louisville with an absolutely stupid early record for their garbage roster. North Carolina comes in knowing that they've got every chance in the world to win this game and win big. And they do, 14 points. Not a surprise. A disappointment for sure. Not a surprise. And it's not getting any easier. Georgia Tech coming in. Then on the road with Syracuse. Maybe that's a winnable game. But at home against number 2 Virginia certainly looks like a loss at this point. So we'll see. Magic number still 8. Might have to be bouncing back and forth every time I do that now. Got to figure out my background processes and see if that's what's holding this up. All right, Georgia Tech in the same situation North Carolina was in just a few days ago. They feel like they can win. They know they can win. But they don't get it done. Chad Cunningham goes off in Louisville with a statement saying, look, we're not letting it go. We got ourselves a coach. We're not laying down and dying. Yeah, we're not good. We're not up to Louisville standards. But we got a coach, we got a system, we got a progress, and we got some pride, baby. Woo! 20-point win against Georgia Tech. That puts the magic number to 7. Let's get a streamer beverage on that one. Man, that felt good. All right, we roll on. Syracuse on the road. Now, we're starting to believe. We're starting to believe. If we were playing even an average team on the road, I wouldn't believe it all. But the Syracuse team is 4-6. That's pretty bad. We don't know what their schedules looked like up until now. We're not getting overly confident. We're still a really bad team. Now, this is when I start to sort of wish that I didn't have to be playing at 50% on my offensive usage settings, because maybe we could hold our own. Given the actual circumstances, though, this is a 50-50 game, if I'm just being honest. And Syracuse gets us by 4. Hopefully we get them on the rebound in the Yum. That's a game on the road. I understand losing it. When we come back home and play that, we can't be losing games like that. And see, we're going to have a really tough time this year. Virginia, Duke, Clemson, everybody in the ACC appears to be ranked this year. All right, playing on. We'll see. If we get to a point where we have another road game like that appears extremely winnable, like early January wasn't the right time. If we get to another game where we have that situation, I might pop over, see what our ratings look like, and see if we want to bump that offensive set usage up to 60 or so. It's going to depend on how much these guys have learned through our practices. And they also get experience. Now, one of the things that, I know everybody's always wondering, how do you develop players? Like, they develop by playing. They also develop their proficiency in their sets by playing. So you'll notice that the guys that start, they learn the sets quicker than the other guys. At least in my experience. I don't know if that's hard-coded into the game, but that's always been my experience. So we can take a quick look at it just by bouncing over to the strategy page. And yeah, you can actually see all these in triangle and motion. Those were all 10s at the start of the season, and now they're all approaching 40. So I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and bounce that up to 60. So they're learning the sets. They're coming along. Let's see what we can do. Virginia was probably always going to beat us at home. We didn't have much chance in that one. All right, at Duke, not a lot of a chance. At Clemson, not a lot of a chance. Home against NC State, probably not, but crazier things have happened. So the ACC is just beating us down this year. It's a murderer's row for sure. Syracuse has been the only team that looks like we're much better than. Let's go. We beat you. Yeah. Wasn't really a surprise. Number 2 in the country. We're just not there yet. 8-6. Magic number's still 7. We've been stuck on 7 for a while. And 1-3 in the conference. No easy wins on our horizon whatsoever. I don't know if they'll be there this year or not. Clemson's fallen out of the rankings, but they're still 10-4. Maybe Clemson is a home game we can win. I don't think we can win at Clemson. We're not winning at Cameron. At least I don't think. I didn't think we were winning at Rupp either, though, and we won at Rupp. So, never say never, right? We're never going to just completely give in. But I don't think we're winning at Cameron. We'll see what happens. On the road. Let's give it a second chance to reload there. There we are. All right, at Cameron. The Cards and the Blue Devils. And the Blue Devils take care of business by 15, as to be expected. No, I don't think we're beating anybody on the road. Most likely. Oh, and it's just not getting... When does this schedule get any easier? Like, it's been nothing but road games against ranked teams. What is happening? All right, so we get Duke. Every team is ranked except Notre Dame. And they'll beat us. It's the curse of Agalia. So we eventually play Wake. And then Virginia Tech way late in the season. North Carolina again. Florida State. Like, every team is... All right, so the ACC is just good this year, and we're not good. And that means it's going to be a real tough ride to 15, even with the surprise victory over Kentucky. So still stuck on 7. We've been stuck on 7 for quite a while. I don't see it changing anytime soon. But you never know. Maybe we can get another big guy in foul trouble. Get in there, pound it. Well, we're going to keep fighting, keep struggling. See what we can make happen. Give me just one quick second here. Didn't need that coming out. Yeah, the victory at Kentucky is easily the highlight of the season. There's no doubt about that. The only second highlight is if we can somehow get to 15 wins. It's the only chance we get another chance at a highlight. 20-point loss at Clemson. Nothing shocking about that. Bowman with another double-double. Like, just no end in sight. It's nothing but ranked teams. I mean, at least we get a couple of games at home against 5-loss ranked teams. I mean, is that something? ACC's crushing us this year. Crushing our hopes. We're very much back on the hot seat. Favorite ice cream? Shoot, what is it? It's the chocolate one with like the peanut butter in it. Favorite ice cream? Chocolate with peanut butter in it. Like, I know Reese's does one like that. We go down to Panama City a lot. They got a little ice cream shop down there. I can't remember what it is. It's pretty good. They've got something similar. That chocolate, and that's the same thing. Like the drink that I'm having. I know you got 8 years before you can start on the adult beverages, but the drink that I'm drinking is literally chocolate peanut butter porter. So I do have a thing for the chocolate peanut butter mix. Wolfpack, DeVille, in the Center. NC State knows they've got a chance. Louisville fighting for their coach's dignity here, but probably on the losing end. No, they pull it out. That's another one. That's 2 wins against ranked teams with this garbage roster. And suddenly, the magic number is 6. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 13 games left in conference, plus the postseason tournaments, and our magic number is 6. Definitely a schedule that gets easier at the end. So you gotta think we got 2 or 3 at the end that are probables. And 2 or 3 that are going to be 50-50s. And it's going to come down to those 2 or 3 50-50 games. Or another surprise like we pulled off in Lexington, in Rupp. Can't let that die. Can't let it die. Have no intention of letting that die. Also, just keeping an eye on the... I can see the daylight from over there. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. I do want to wrap this stream up while I still got a little daylight. Because I got a T-bone upstairs that I intend to grill tonight. So that's a thing that's going to happen. But first, we definitely want to get through at the minimum this season. Hopefully the transfers and maybe even the recruiting. So we got to keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, don't stop. Ooh, Sam Page, 35 points for Houston. Okay. I see you working, big man. I don't know if he's a big man. I just said that. Anybody that scores 31 points is a big man for me. Derek Dent, 25 points. Way to go, big man. My kids are 9, 7, 6, and 9 months. Got 4 of them. Uh-oh. Hold on, we got an emergency on the device. All right, fixed. Some of these other games on the road at number 6 Pitt. Really loving all the games on the road at top 10 teams. It's really, really fun. Especially in year 1 with absolutely no players. Yeah, you got one. I only had one sibling as well. All right, Louisville and Pitt on the road. Just looking for miracles at this point. I don't see it happening with an undefeated Pittsburgh, number 2 in the net. I don't see it happening. Could it happen? No. No, of course not. 15 points. Pitt takes care of business. Keep on chugging. All right, I can see the end of this murderer's row coming up. Even though it's Notre Dame, even though we've got the curse of the Agalia Irish, I can at least foresee a path to victory in that game. That's one of those 50-50 games. That's where it's really going to start. Like, that picture is going to start clarifying. Do we have a shot or not at going 500? Now, a win here could put us on the right side of things. And again, I don't foresee it. But hey, I didn't think that it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen last time. And it did. Now, I held my breath. I was getting excited for no good reason. Duke comes into the Yum Center, does what Duke does, shatters dreams. And now I've got to go to Virginia. So, on the way to number 3 Virginia, Joshua should be in chat right now, just warming up the drums of war, or whatever it is, the who's due down in Virginia. I don't know what it is. Apparently Tony Bennett doesn't know what it is either because he can't make it happen in the postseason. But in the regular season, going to a top 5 Virginia team, That's a recipe for disaster, especially for the Cardinals. Yeah, I could see another 35, 50-point loss. That makes sense. That could be what we have on store here. In store. On store, in store. Let's just keep it rolling. We're trying to get through this season as quickly as possible. And on to better days, brighter pastures, better players. Hate seasons like this. Like you have no option but to be pessimistic. So bad. 25 points. So better than it could have been. But that's not saying much. What's up, Jay Tanner? What kind of question you got for us? Ugh. All right, home against a 500 Notre Dame squad. Home against a 13-8 Miami team. At Wake Forest. Now, that at Wake Forest. So let's get through Notre Dame. Then let's go check again on our offensive proficiencies and see if we can bounce that up. I mean, even to 65. I feel better at 65 than I do at 60. Like ideally, I want that at least 7. Even if I've got like one and done talent at one and done freshman talent, I still like to have it at least like 75 for those upperclassmen, assuming that I have a few playing. Like anything below 70 hurts my soul because I just don't think it's conducive to winning on the road. But again, that's personal preference, personal experience. No guarantee I'm right about any of that. Let's go check it now. I'm freaking out. We need a win here. So yeah, you can see, and especially, I mean, the guys that are playing, Green's playing, Cunningham's playing, Bowman is not learning as quick. Actually, I think we're playing Barnes over McNeil, aren't we? But yeah, you can see all these guys are playing. They're all practicing this system. They're up to the 40s in proficiency. I think we can go to 65. And the other thing is, like, if you've got scorers that just don't know the offense, then you want to give them freedom. But these guys aren't scorers, so you need to give them the system, right? Oh no, you ought to be able to fix pixels and all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't worry about that personally. I think you can just change the display options or the properties or something. But I'm not a technical expert. That's a better question for other people. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Really appreciate that. Let's see if we can get a win here. This is one of these 50-50s. Crush fingers for me. Crush your toes. Whatever else you got that you can cross. Let's do it. Notre Dame. The curse of Agalia comes into the Yum Center. The dark cloud that is my CBGM life. Notre Dame. But not today! Not today, Agalia. Get out of here. You have no power here. Go back to South Bend. Losers. Losers. Get out. You ain't coming into my house with that 500 nonsense. Get out of here. Get walking. Not on my court. Not on Denny Crum court, baby. Notre Dame. Come on. Bunch of chumps. You know, go recruit Rudy or something. Hey, you don't come up in here with that again. Baby. All right, magic number's down to 5. Our magic number is 5. And we got to go on the road to Wake Forest. All right, this is a 500 team. And we're also a 500 team. We're pretty bad in conference. I don't know what their conference record is. 5-6. Okay, so pretty equal teams. We're on the road. Should be a slight win for Wake, but we got a chance in this one, and this is one of the 50-50s we could use. The Miami game, to me, is more important, but this would be icing on the cake, and we can't get it. Bowman got us a double-double. Yeah, there we go, Chris, with the technical advice, because that's the part I don't have. Now, you want strategy, you want advice, you want recruiting, you want practice information, how to hire coaches. I can do all that stuff. If you start talking about technical stuff, I can just barely stream. Streaming is the you take a rubber band and take it right before it snaps. That's my technical ability when it comes to streaming. I'm the rubber band that's about to pop, but I just barely made it. Like, when you were a kid, did you ever, like, load up a game? Like, I know the requirements say I need better, but maybe it'll work. That's me streaming. Yeah, if you need more technical help, like Chris said, pop over to the Wolverine Studios forums, their Discord. They've got a Slack channel. We have like our sponsored league or whatever. They recognize us, but we're not like affiliated with that. I'm not affiliated with anything. I just stream. Chris does all the other stuff. But a lot of people for some reason think that Chris has something to do with the game, or like GM Games has like nothing to do with the game. Go to Wolverine Studios for all that stuff. We've got experience with it, and we want to help it, and we want to promote it because, like, I love it, and the multiplayer league is fantastic, and the more interest that we can generate in it, and the more eyeballs, and the more people we can get in our league, and the more people I can beat on, and the more witnesses I have for when I kick Agalia's ass. But all that aside, that's the extent of my interest in following with it. Do I watch NBA or just college? I keep up with NBA the same way I keep up with college. All I watch is Louisville. The rest of it I just keep up with. Now, I used to keep up with college more. I used to watch more other college games. But anymore, like, I'll catch the scores. I know what's going on. But all I'm watching on a day-to-day basis is Louisville. All right, here's the 50-50 that I want. We're at home. We've got an average team. Like, come on. We need it. Magic number is 5. We don't have a lot of chances left. We've got to get 5 more. Yes! 86-79. Yes! Down to 4. We only need 4. We got 7 conference games left. We need 4. Let's go. At Georgia Tech. I don't feel great about that. They beat us at home. That's fine. I feel like the back end of this, we've got some opportunity. Like, Syracuse at home is an opportunity for sure. Man, let's get it. Come on, baby. All right, headed down to Atlanta. Should be actually a fairly easy win for Georgia Tech. At home, they're a much better team. 27's not a surprise. You can just look at that conference record and see that they're a much better team, even though the overall records are sort of similar. Like, they're 7-6 in conference, and we were 4-9. Like, they're 7-6 in this ACC. That's legit as it gets. Oh, now this is making me feel real bad. North Carolina slid all the way to 13-11, and we did not take care of that game at home whatsoever. So it looks like we might have blown an opportunity early on. North Carolina appears to have been a pretender, and we couldn't figure it out. So our magic number still sits at 4. And we might be in a position at this point where we need to win a road game. Or maybe a game at the tournament. You know, Tanner, I've never witnessed a computer that you couldn't change pixelization on the monitor. You could change the display options. I think you can probably even do it for specific applications. I don't know. Like I said, stretched to my very extent just getting up online and coming to you guys like this. The record right now, we're 11-13. We got to get to 15 wins this year by any means possible. 15. We need 4 more. 4 more guarantees us a 500 record. In a 500 record, kind of guarantees us at least 60%, at least 80% coaching stability going into next year, where we're going to have a significantly improved roster. So if we can go into next year with 80%, I feel good. This is a huge game. This is absolutely huge, and this is the one, like, I can feel it in my heart. It's the one we're going to lose because we beat Kentucky when we shouldn't have. We beat, a couple of other teams when we shouldn't have. Somebody at home. I don't think it was Georgia Tech or Duke, but if we can get past this one, we're feeling good. No, not 4 games to make the postseason. 4 games to make 500. What we're looking at right now, we're looking at our goals. We're in challenge mode. So qualify for the NIT. We're not going to do that. Finish top half of the conference. We're not going to do that. Improve school prestige. I don't think we're going to do that, although we could get lucky. Finish above 500. That's what we're trying to do. So, because each of these is 10%, right? And so if we miss 3 but get 1, this should only drop by 20%. We'll still have 80% job security. If we can't get this, we're probably dropping to 60, and at that point, we are in danger of getting fired in year 2. So we're just trying to survive right now. So this is a massive, massive game. And I feel in my heart this is the one that this stupid game has been setting me up for all year. But we need it. We need it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Get pumped up. I said drop cross everything a few games ago. I'm saying it again. Cross everything. Cross the fingers. Cross the toes. If you got a tail, cross that. If you got whatever, cross it. Cross it. The orange. Coming into the Yum Center. No, you don't. Isaac Green coming through big with 17-9. And Louisville gets past Syracuse in an absolute must-win game. The magic number is down to 3, and that requires us to go and take a look at the schedule and see where can we get these 3 wins from. Where can we get 3 wins from? And the obvious answers right now are Wake Forest at home is the most likely win. Florida State at home is the next most likely. And for our 15th win, we're going to have to do it in the ACC tournament because I don't think we win any of these other games. Not on the road. We have to win these 2 games and the first game of the tournament. That's my prediction. Now, I've been wrong a few times already on this stream, but that's the way I see it as it currently stands. I don't think we can win any of these games on the road. We could get lucky. You know, we could pull one off, get somebody in foul trouble, pull like we did at Kentucky at Rupp. Got to bring that up as many times as I can. It's the only bright spot of this season, to be quite honest. So, yeah, I've got a job security that I have to meet. If it drops, once you get down below 40%, you're in danger of getting fired. 20% would just be an absolute firing. And the players that I'm bringing in next year, I feel pretty confident I won't lose more than 20% of my job security with them. You know, maybe I'll lose 20, but not more than 20. So if I can hold on to 80% this year, then I won't drop past 60 next year. And then I get into a 3rd year, and then stuff starts snowballing. Because then I got 3 years of recruits, 2 years of transfers. My prestige is going up, and it all goes uphill. So right now is really the most influential on how the rest of this stream goes. Can I hold on to my job at Louisville, or do I have to regroup somewhere else and turn the future of the Cardinals over to somebody else, which I really, really don't want to do. So, yeah, even though Virginia Tech's got a losing record overall, they've got a losing record in the ACC, not as bad as mine. I don't know how this net is getting rated, but I don't take any faith in it, especially being on the road. So this should be a loss. It's a possible win. It's a possible win. If we win this, get your popcorn ready. If I was making odds, I'd say the Hokies are a 10-point favorite. 5 points. So a little bit better than I expected, but not much. How does recruiting work? You're going to find out in probably 15 minutes if you hang on into the stream. We're going to get through the rest of this season. We're going to jump in. You're going to see the transfers. And then I think I can get through recruiting tonight. Unless, like I said, if I get a call from the bat phone, the kids start going crazy, life starts falling apart upstairs, I'll just have to run. But I think I can get through it. Basically, you get a list of all of the recruits, decide the ones that you're interested in, try to contact them, make some pitches, see if they've got any reciprocal interest, and then try to beat out the other teams. At North Carolina should be a loss. Home against Florida State's a maybe. My prediction hasn't changed. 2 more regular season wins and win in the first round of the ACC. Need it. Because I don't think we can do better than that. All right, headed to the Dean Dome, the Dean Smith Center. Taking on the Tar Heels. Ghosts of Jordan and Worthy hanging in the hallways. You know, we don't have Darrell Griffith with us. You know, we don't have DeJuan Wheat with us. We don't have Rick Pitino, Denny Crum. We're just walking in here with Bellman and Green and whoever these dudes are. It's a long shot. It's probably a bad shot. 26 points. You know, that's about how that should go. And I'm surprised it hasn't gone that way a little bit more this year. But we're holding on. Have I miscalculated our magic number? I might be off by a game. Our magic number might have been 4. Because we've got 3 more conference games. So that's going to... If we won all 3... Oh, I miscounted. We either need one of these away wins. And I think it's a finish above 500. We might be in big time trouble, folks. Big time trouble here. Big time trouble. We might be very reliant on year number 2 saving our souls. Let's see. I don't know if we can beat this Florida State team at home. They're almost 500 in the ACC, number 29 in the net. This is actually a good team, and we're not. We tried to pretend we were average in the early season, but we are not. We're a bad team. They're a good team, and they can very easily beat us at home. And, in fact, I'd say Florida State should be favored in this by probably about 5 points. But we pull it off! Staying alive, staying alive. Let's go, Cards now. Staying alive. 2 more games. At Boston College. Still a long shot. Wake Forest at home, we can do. All right, come on. We got to do it. We got to do it. Upset Boston College. Turn this thing around. Can y'all feel it getting tense now? I'm getting quiet. I don't have anything to say because now I'm just biting my lip. Yeah, that was absolutely a must-needed win. And we have to win one more of these next 2 games. Have to win one of them. That would put us at 14-16. I don't think that's enough. I really thought 15 in the regular season would put us at 15-15. I miscalculated by a game, though. Yeah, miscalculated by a game. 16 wins guaranteed it. All right, at Boston College, an upset here would certainly be a breath of fresh air, but it's not looking likely. 10-8 in the ACC. They're at home. I mean, this is Boston College by 15. That's the road win we needed. Let's go. Let's get it up. 76-69. We pulled it out. One more win. Whew. This could get us to 500. Then we've got a chance. Everybody. Shots. Yes, sir. All right, one more. We have to win against Wake Forest. We have to beat Wake Forest. That gets us to 500. Then a win in the conference. Oh, man. If we win here, how's our net look? Can we get into one of these other... We're not making the NIT. But can we get into like the CIT to scrape out a couple wins to jump above 500? First things first. No. We can't lose to Wake Forest. Cannot lose to Wake Forest. Cannot. We're 74 in the net. Oh, please win this game. Please win this game against Wake Forest. This team is... Oh, please. We've overachieved every step of the way this season. This is the last thing that we need. If we get this, I have faith. It all comes down to the Demon Deacons and the Louisville Cardinals in the Yum Center from Louisville. Friday, March 3rd, big-time Friday night basketball. Two mediocre teams in the ACC take the court to determine one coach's future, one streamer's future. Can Cards keep with the Louisville Cardinals, or can the Demon Deacons really put a dent in his future prospects? Let's go! Isaac Green had 26 points. Look at Isaac Green, the freshman. Oh, baby, Isaac Green, 9 of 18, 3 for 7 from 3, 26 points, plus 10. Look at all the starters. Randall's the only one not in double digits. 89-76, the Cardinals do it. That gets them back to an amazing 500 record on the year, headed to the postseason. Now we've got a legit shot, because we're going to play very early in the ACC tournament against a bad team on a neutral court. And with the net rating, we could be sneaking into one of the lower ranking tournaments and maybe steal another win. We need one win in the ACC and one win in a different tournament, and that ends us up 500, right? Players declaring. Nobody declared, of course. Our team sucks. No surprise there. Let's take another look at this strategy. If I can keep bumping it up, if we're in the 50s, oh, we're getting close. Close to the 50s. I don't know if we're close enough. Because if I had a talented team that had this ability in the motion and triangle, I would leave this exactly where it is. But I do not have a talented team. I have an untalented team. I'll want them to run the sets more often. Oh my goodness. All right, we're keeping it real, baby. So we play Wake Forest again in the tourney? Yep, that's our tournament draw. We beat them at home. Can we beat them On a neutral court. That's a different question. It's one that I'm not as confident in. We definitely need it. Do not know if we can get it. Big difference. And if we don't, it's probably all for naught, because I don't think we're getting into any postseason tournament with a loss here. Let's take one quick look at conference standings. I'd love to know how this played out. A lot of good teams in conference. Ended up only 3 ranked teams. We are definitely not in the top half, so that one's a no. Let's see how this first round plays out, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Need a win. Win would be huge. All right, so Syracuse beat Notre Dame. North Carolina beat Virginia Tech. That's unsurprising. 15-15 Louisville, 13-16 Wake Forest on a neutral court in, I don't know, whether they run these out of Cameron Indoor. I mean, they run the ACC tournament somewhere favorable for North Carolina or Duke every year, I feel like. But let's see what Louisville and Wake Forest decide to do. Everybody one last time. Cross those fingers, cross those toes. Baby, let's go! God bless. I figured couldn't get it done. Now we're below 500. Now we desperately need a postseason tournament and a big run. That was never going to be us. We need like the CIT. We need some bottom feeders, and we need them quickly. We need a CIT bid. Oh, yeah, you been to the ACC tournament? It's got to be a blast. It's always some really good basketball. I don't know, 15-16, 8-12. Does that get us a CIT? Clemson and Virginia. Joshua, hold on to your seat. You might have an ACC championship here. Oh, that hurts. Clemson takes the ACC championship. All that talent this year. Top 5 Virginia. Couple other top 10, top 5 type schools. And Clemson sneaks in and steals it. We're not watching the selection show. See if we get anything. No. No postseason for Louisville. We failed everything, so next season is going to be a massive problem for us. So we're just going to sim through the rest of the season. I'm not taking this week by week. We're simming the season. Let's go. Don't care. Want to end it. Want to move on. Want to hit recruiting. Oh yeah, it's hard when you're really young. It's hard to pay attention to the whole game. I remember Louisville had some good years when I was really young, but it never really registered for me until like probably 12 or 13, probably right around your age. So I got big time remember Dewan Wheat. So I was born in 83. Dewan Wheat was like a 93 to 97, 94 to 98 type player. And that's like my first real good memories. So yeah, I totally feel where you're coming from there. Sorry, we failed every single objective. Honestly, let me think about this. Given that we're at a 48 prestige, could that season, with the wins that we got in the ACC, can that bump our prestige? Because if it does, that totally changes the game. I don't think so without any tournament wins, but I can't say with certainty no. I'll say probably not. We probably failed all 4. But maybe? Look, Virginia, Saturday, April 1st, Virginia's in the national championship. Josh, don't change your head. Oh, they got beat by Kansas. You got to the final of everything and lost everything. All right, well, that's how it goes. We're not watching awards either. I'm not even looking at awards. We didn't win awards. I don't want to know. I want to move on. Lost in the finals of everything, man. All right. Let's see the damage. Failed everything. Oh, but prestige didn't even change. It stayed the same. So we're down to 60. Yep. That's how that works. All right, so it's going to be ugly next season. And this should be the same. Like, I think we've already got our updated job goals. So qualify for the NIT, top half of conference. I think we can win 15 games, which should have us dropping no more than 20%. And if we can also improve school prestige, then we stay the same. Then we bring in the talent. Then it starts moving the other way. So that's our plan. Some big-time jobs open. Advance right on past that. Don't care. Darius Randall popping up to 3.5 stars? What are you doing? Five and 6, not terrible. All right, let's see how the staff hiring goes. Everybody here's got 2 years left, so nobody's going to leave. 87 a year for 61 recruiting. God, can I fire him? $53.6. What are you bringing? You're bringing nothing. Nolan Smith, these are not great ratings. What are you making 53 for? You got to have at least one good skill. I don't know if I fire these guys. Like, here's the thing. I'd love to fire these guys. That would give me some advantage. But, like I said, I'd like to bring in Rex Walters as my second assistant. And I think I could get him for like 40. But at the same time, I'm just going to finish in advance, let this play out. I don't need that advantage because I don't know exactly how to, like, when you fire the coaches is very impactful in your budget, and I haven't played it enough to know the exact right time, and I don't want to screw with it because while I could give myself more of an advantage by improving the coaches, that's not my biggest problem. The roster is my biggest problem. Yeah, having actual recruits. I mean, all that stuff is, it's going to be contingent on NIL and all these other things. And I don't think I don't see this game integrating real players at any time. At least not without a mod. What I am going to ask them for is more time. Please give me more time. Denied. All right, end the season, baby. Let's go. Do I play what? Do I play 2K? Yeah, for sure. All the time. If I wasn't streaming right now, I'd be playing 2K right now. I've got it on PC, but the shooting for me was too easy on PC. I like it more on the PS5. It's not bad on PC. It's just there's no real skill level to it. Like, you can just be a dominant shooter with, like, fairly average shooting mechanics. On the PS5, it takes that actual lot of skill, and people get pretty pissed about it. And so that's what I like to play it. And, you know, you have good games and bad games. Like, I have games where I go 7 of 8 and score, like, 20 points, and everybody's like, oh, you're a god. And then I have games where I go 0 for 4, and they're like, you're a scrub. You sold the whole game. So cuts both ways. All right, nobody wants to rank us. 30th in recruiting rank, that's fine. Budgeting. Let's take a look at the budgeting. This is new for this year. Who hasn't seen this yet? We're expected to spend $125. $125 just to keep our facilities rating. Then you throw in our assistants. What are our assistants making? $140, $160, $161. All right, so call it $161, $166, $186, $286. If you just take what our assistants are making plus what we're expected to spend, that's our entire team budget, and we would have $0 for recruiting. We obviously cannot do that. So we are going to need to increase the budget going forward to maintain our facilities, or we're going to need to cut costs on the coaching end of it, one way or the other. But we're not going to be able to spend this $125 this year. So let's take a look at what we can spend. We still need... do we want to go to Indy? I'm trying to think whether or not my prestige right now justifies going to Indy. No, I don't play Basketball GM on PC. If I spend $7,000, I kind of want to back $7,000 off the facility spending. So we're going to take it 47. Got to hit these update buttons. Did that go up? Did I go the wrong way? No, that doesn't work at all. Hold on. Let the AI suggest this. All right, that I can work with. Our facilities are probably going to fall. We need a better budget. But that I can work with. All right, Dad grew up in Indy. That's awesome. I've been to Indy a handful of times for like a bunch of NCAA tournaments. I've been there every time Louisville's been there recently. So 3 times in the past 10 years, I think. Maybe past 12 years. All right, Marquise Kraft, who I don't recognize his name, is transferring out. Now we're into transfers, but now we get to take a look at our dashboard at the players that we already have. So let's see what's going on with the players that we've brought in and the players that we have. And I mean, the players that we already had are kind of holding it down. I can't lie. Chad Cunningham still looks all right. All right, so we look at these freshmen. Ed Branch, 2-star, 3 potential. But the scoring and defense is there, and he can outside shoot, so he can fill in. That's going to be perfectly fine. Nick Cunningham doesn't look as good. A little bit worse, but still average overall. Like, not a garbage dumpster fire like we had before. Abdul Kendrick, same kind of thing. 5 scoring, really good outside shooting and free throws. So this dude is a shooter, but he's not a great defender. Adam Hughes with the 4 stars, big-time inside shooting, scoring, the rebounding's there, the drawing fouls is there. This dude's a center, so he's legit. He makes the team better. He can go along with Bowman, who is definitely a solid player. So we got 2 inside starters right here. I don't think Cunningham's going to beat either of them out with this, whatever you call that. But essentially, we've got 3 starting positions locked down between Green, Bowman, and Hughes. And then when we come down and look at these guards, I mean, 5 and 4, that's not bad. These guys are developing. He's 3.5 to 4 stars. He can really shoot from the outside. That's not awful. This guy can't necessarily score, but he can play good defense. And he can shoot from the outside. That's not awful. We need some point guard depth. Point guard depth, right? Let's take a look at the roster here. So we can see how these guys that are developing versus the guys that we just brought in. And right away you see it on the scoring. Kendrick, the freshman, already on the scoring, better. Same with the jumper. Better with the free throw. Can't quite pass it as well. Can't quite rebound it as well. And the defense is really lacking. So that's where he's going to be behind at. But we're bringing in quality behind, I don't want to call this quality, but behind the best that we had, we're bringing in some quality. We need a little depth at point guard. And then we can go Barnes, Randall, Green, Bowman, Hughes, let Cunningham slot in. And we're going to be all right because we got Green with 7 scoring, Bowman up to 6, Hughes still at 5. Our inside scoring is going to be solid as could be. Defensively, we're better. This is okay. Let's take a look at our transfers. Oh, also an IU fan. Hey, I go way back to Tom Coverdale. What do you know about Tom Coverdale? What do you know about Jared Jeffries? All right, so we got a couple of guys transferring out of North Carolina. I would definitely take you, 100%. Louis Geedon. Scouting offer. Webb, I don't know about. Geln. I've wondered for a while if Geln has been in the database for a while now. At least 3 years. And I still don't know if that's a typo or if Geln is a real name. But Geln Webb, no, I don't have as much interest in you. I have small forwards as good as you. So I'm not interested in that. If we can bring in Geedon, that'll be better for us. I'd love to get a point guard, but I don't see any that we have a decent scouting report on. Let's just go. No, he's terrible. All right, so we'll see. Maybe we can bring in one guard, play him out of position or something. I don't know. Yeah, Jared Jeffries, Tom Coverdale, those were some dudes back in my day, like early 2000s. Or let's see if we got any interest at all out of this guy, or if that just didn't work out. All right, so no, Webb is still not an option, and the other guy is totally gone. Oh, we might have an assistant coach coming down. Who's there? How was practice? Good. All right, this is our assistant coach, James. He doesn't want to be on camera. Hey, James, one of the guys, just come wave. This is my 9-year-old. All right. So there we go. Guy that's watching said hi, James. He's 13. All right, so we did not bring in the player that we wanted. This other dude is not going to cut it for me, so we're going to skip over this. In future seasons, the transfers are going to be more because our prestige is going to be higher. We're going to have scouting reports on more player. For right now, not really working out. So let's see if we can get some recruiting in before I just absolutely have to bail on tonight's stream. I'm optimistic for this year. I think we're going to be very mediocre. And I think we can hit at least 2 out of the 4 requirements. It's ideal that out of the players that we did have, none of them left. And they all improved. We might... I wanted to add 3 starters. I really feel like we only added 1 definitive starter. But as much as the other guys overachieved and developed, maybe we can make that work. And if we can't, we'll find a new school to make it work at. You know what I mean? You know what? I used to try to stream at least once a week. And then I had my 4th child. And so I went about, what do you say, Chris? 7, 8 months without streaming. And now I'm back. I streamed last week. I streamed this week. I'll try to keep it up weekly, but we'll see. It ebbs and flows. Life happens, and that takes priority. My kids take priority. All right, this is kind of patchwork, but we can make this work. Hughes is a very good addition. The rest of these guys will be able to fill in. And they're all going to be 2 stars with 3.5, 4-star potential. 2-star, 3 potential, okay. But still, like, the scoring and defense are there. This is a good player. There are plenty of players in this game that are 2 stars that I do not trust as much as this guy. I actually trust this guy. This is a solid backup. Hold on, my device decided to crap out again. So yeah, 5 scoring, 5 defense. He can shoot from the outside. This guy's fine. He's an athlete. That's perfectly capable. Cunningham, 4 and 4. Actually, slightly worse. Cunningham is slightly worse than Branch. Then Isaac Green, obviously we had him last year. His scoring has only developed. His defense is still adequate. Hughes, good score, good defense. Look at the shot blocking, the rebounding, the inside shooting. All that's legit as it gets. Rebounding. Now, his scoring and defense aren't great, but his inside shooting is going to make up for it. So, good thing is, I run traditional offenses that put our big men near the hoop. So, I don't know. We'll have to think about how we set this up. 9 and 4, 8 and 3. So, yeah, Hughes is going to go on the inside. Bowman's going to be the power forward. But triangle and motion are both going to put both these big men on the inside. Cunningham, more of a rebounder, not a scorer at all, and not a defender. So this is a mirage. This dude is not this good. He's an athletic rebounder, and he can kind of pass and handle the ball. So maybe he's more of a backup small forward, to be honest. Reggie Barnes, not fantastic, but he can shoot from the outside. His passing and ball handling are pretty solid. Randall, much of the same. This is a team. What do I think this team can do? I think this is an NCAA tournament team, and they are going to fight for one of those 6-7 seeds. That's what I'm calling. One shot away from a starting lineup. No, I already got a starting lineup. I'm the center. Haven't you ever seen this? Haven't you ever watched a basketball game? The point guard's quick, short, runs around, makes plays. Shooting guard draining shots from the side. Small forward, defensive beast, offensive beast. Power forward, out there, athletic as could be. The center, big glasses, goofy backwards hat, 20 years out of style, bad knees, bad back. I'm the center. We already got our starting five. We don't need anybody else. No, this isn't NIT. We're making the tournament. We are going to Indy and Memphis. And I feel like we got a couple of people in here that haven't seen recruiting, so I'm going to try to push all the way through recruiting. Although, y'all are going to have to give me 2 minutes. Stream a restroom break. Be right back. Coming right back. All right, we're back and we're coming for 5-star recruits, baby. All right, let's see what we got. The Kurt Rambis of the fam. All right. 2023 Pro Draft. We didn't lose anybody. All right. Let's kill it, baby. Recruiting. Here we go. My shoe was super untied, so hold tight. All right, so point guard, full recruit list. We got 4 scholarships. Center is probably our most satisfied position after that small forward, so definitely guards. Definitely guards. Let's just leave it at that. All right, so what I typically try to do when I'm walking into a new recruiting season, especially when if I've got 90 overall prestige or something, I can recruit anybody. Yeah, Chris is probably sort of right. A decent season with Louisville, you're going to jump up 6, 7, maybe 8 prestige points, depending on how good it is. Even a Sweet 16 season is going to bounce you back pretty solidly. If you win a championship, you could jump 10, 12 points, I think. But, our roster isn't at that point. All we really need is one tournament season to save our job, and then it'll all turn around. But anyway, when I'm looking at these recruits, here's the first thing that I'm looking at is who's the first recruit interested in me. So it's Diego Stapleton here, and these are just the point guards. So it's Diego Stapleton here at 87. He's a 4-star overall guy. So I can definitely reach into the 4-star territory. Can I reach into the 5-star territory? So with the prestige being where it is, rather than look at all regions, I'm going to stick to the Southeast region because I'm going to have a benefit going after these Southeast region guys, right? So I can come all the way up to here just with the guys who are naturally interested in me. I haven't done anything. I haven't done any recruiting pitches, nothing. And I do play on brutal recruiting. This is on brutal. I could show you if you feel like me showing you. In a multiplayer league, I wouldn't do this, but in this league I can jump up a little bit. So I could easily jump up and grab this guy, but his GPA scares me. Can I jump directly to these guys? That's the question that I have to ask myself right now. Can I jump directly to those guys? Hey, later, Josh. Thanks for all the chatter, bud. You made it way better. This was a cool stream because of you. I hope you come back every time we stream. If not, definitely catch the YouTube videos. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, all that stuff. That way you get notified. Because, like, Chris can't always be around to, like, do the Twitter and everything else. So if you're, like, following us on Twitch and everything else, you'll get the notification when we go live. So make sure to do that. All right, so my question is, can I jump up to these guys? And I think probably not. But the guys that we have are okay and kind of young, right? They're developing. They're like developing sophomores, developing juniors. So what's the harm in throwing them on the list, giving them an invite? We've got the money. Throw them on the list. His GPA scares me. I won't do that. If he had interest in me already, this would be my prime target. Because he has no interest, scares me with the GPA. So, and then back to the usual 10 at each position. I'm not going out of region right now. I can do fine in this region. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'll look for anybody in state. I don't have any in state. I'll just grab the next 3 and move on. All right, so same consideration. Now, this guy is definitely a target. This guy is definitely a target. I don't like JUCOs. And then we grab the in-state guy. Small forward. We've already got like 3 or 4 of them on the team. We'll throw these guys on the list. We'll actually throw the 5-star guys on the list as well. But that's all we're doing. Power forward, yeah. Mm, 2.5, that's an interesting one. I'm going to lay off of it. Let's see, is there anybody that we missed in the guards that we really want? Because we got the extra scholarships. Why not see 2.2 that already has interest? I'm fine recruiting him. He'll qualify. Unless they've changed the code, he'll qualify. Game's not loading. The X is coming up saying it's in the wrong directory. I have no idea. I would uninstall, reinstall, and if that doesn't work out, head to the Wolverine Studios forums, head to the Wolverine Studios Discord or Slack channel, and get some technical assistance. If you send in a ticket, they're fantastic. They'll be back to you in like a day or 2. So that would be my recommendation for you. Sorry I can't help more than that, but yeah, just try to uninstall, reinstall. All right, let's take a look at our call watch list. Southeast region. We'll go all positions. And we'll just start from the top and see who will and will not attend. Hey, and look at that. All these 5-star dudes say, yeah, we'll come check you out. That's the benefit of staying in campus. Surprised I haven't been fired. I was only here for 1 year. How are you surprised I haven't been fired? That was only 1 year. I mean, it wasn't a good year, but it was 11 wins better than Kenny Payne's first year, so... Now, let's see what we get. See if we get any kind of interest out of this. Hot interest. Look at that. Hot interest, baby. Hey, awesome visit. Yeah. That's what I like to hear. All right, we're going to skip through the summer camps. All right, so he decent, not spectacular at Indy. Okay, that's cool. And look, now Blake Weaver's interested. Look at this. This is why we fight. Oh, Jeremy Williams doesn't want to come. For real? All right. We'll move on. We got other options. Let's go. Who else is hot? Who else is hot? Oh, Martin Nelson's warm. Okay. Okay. Move on through these summer camps. So what we really want to get to is the Southeast camp. And it's going to be after this. So we'll try Jack again. Oh. Oh, I already brought him in, and he's got no interest. Got it. Whoops. We're just bringing the top guys in, seeing who we can convince, baby. Oh, we don't need to be over here yet. I don't like to mess with this because I don't like to lose the old emails on how the national camps worked out. Whoop. Bounce back to recruiting. Dead period. Then we should have 2 summer camps. Then I get information on everybody's Memphis camp. We trim our lists and then get real. Super real. All the real right now. Point guard. Top 5 MVP. Didn't stand out at Memphis. 4-star guy. He could develop somewhere else. Do I want the decent, not spectaculars? No, I actually don't. If you can't be top 25, go away. Oh, these point guards suck. They're so bad. We're going to have to land one of these 5-star dudes just to have a chance at the point guard. Shooting guards, what do we got? All right, you're fine. No, decent. Get out. That's not good enough. You're a 4-star player. What are you talking about? Didn't stand out. It's trash, bro. Didn't stand out. Get out. Go. Go. Guards are so bad this year. Whew. This is rough. All right. Well, at the very least, we're trimming our list. He was decent at Indy, and he didn't go. Okay, that's fine. You're fine. You're fine. You got to go. Okay. Decent at Indy, didn't go to Southeast. He's top 25. Top 5? Yes. Wait. Top 25. Top 5. Oh, but look. So this is what sucks is you can see who's offered. So he's got so much more interest in all these other schools and 3 offers. So we're probably not going to work out there, which kind of sucks. But you can see it so much better now. Like a dude like this. This is what I want. All cool interest. Nobody offering. Top 10 at Memphis. Host this dude. Go scout him. We're probably offering Tremaine Jenkins. Don't care what position he's at. This is a player. Top 25. That's cool. Didn't stand out. Get off my list. Don't want you. Don't need you. Decent. And the centers. All right, so you're good. Decent, no. Top 5 at Memphis. Top 5. Yes. Decent, not so much. Didn't stand out. All right. So that's our list. We can go to all positions now. We got a call and watch list. We got 18 guys. All these guys are players. So all we need to do is just nonstop host till we get them all out of the way, and then see where the interest lies, see where the offers are, and make our best decision from there. Let's go. Actually, don't need this anymore because I've got my targets identified. So we're going to go through the end of recruiting here. Not the end of recruiting. We're going to go through the end of in-home visits, and then we're going to call it a day. Awesome time. Yeah, Tremaine Jenkins, awesome time. That's the dude I think we wanted more than anybody. Let's just go through the visits here. $19,000 left. We still got a month to go. All right, there's 3 more visits. Woohoo, we got a lot of hots popping up. Still no guards, but a lot of hots. And the thing is, with this budget, 3 more weeks, we can get everybody in. Because we trimmed our list pretty aggressively. All right, hold on. Let's take a look here. Power forwards. We do have a number of hots. Decent at Indy. No regional. Decent at Indy. Top 25 at Memphis. Patrick Phillips was top 5 at Memphis, but he's got offers from schools he's more interested in. Terrence, I'm just not interested in you that much. Joey Brown, no. And then Tremaine Jenkins, top 10 at Memphis. He has the most interest in us. That's a big man we can take. We can grab Tremaine. Let's see, center-wise. Top 25 at Indy, that's solid. But we're not beating Clemson for him. Not beating anybody for him. Top 25 at Indy. Could we sneak in here? Yeah. Top 5 at Memphis. Yeah, we could sneak in on Gibson. But we already have centers. So Gibson's a backup option. We already have small forwards. We need guards immediately. What are our options here? Boosty Mance. Top 25 at Memphis. Hardworking kid. And we're the top option, which is big. Let's see what else we got. Top 25 at Indy. But we're not beating out these schools. Top 10 at Indy. Probably not beating out Xavier. Where are we at? Blake Weaver. No, we're cool. We're not beating out Xavier. All right, nobody's offered him. He was decent at Indy. Top 25 at Memphis. All right, so hardworking kid, top 25 at Memphis. Or decent at Indy, top 25 at Memphis. Attitude and discipline problems. But a 4-star. I mean, I think we go with Bootsy. He's top 25 at Memphis, hardworking kid. We'll develop him. Jeremy Williams just has no interest. He's going to North Carolina. This guy's top 25 at Memphis. Let's host him and see if we can get our interest up above UAB. None of these other guys are like spectacular. We can see what happens with them. Still 2 scholarships to give. Martin Smith had a great time. Norton candidates. Hey, Bowman up for the Norton. For real. How high is he? Oh, not very high. 43. All right, not great. Let's just take a look here. Host anybody else that we have not yet hosted. All positions. Host all these dudes. That's the only one we need. Cool. So we got a power forward offered. We got a point guard offered. Really need probably another point guard and shooting guard, I guess. I think we actually had more interest at center. So we're not jumping them. Probably not jumping them. It's top 5 at Indy. That might be worth a shot. I don't know. Probably not. And then at the shooting guard. Oh, we're so close. We're going to try that one as well. We're going to try here. I don't have faith on those last 2 that we just offered. The first 2 I think were good. I think the power forward Williams and I think the point guard. I think we can get both those. And we've already we've already hosted everyone on our list. We've offered all 4 of our scholarships. We have nothing to do but sim up until September 11th. So on September 11th, we can reevaluate. Why do we get the bugs here? I don't know. I think anywhere people see the games, they want to ask the questions, especially because I at least pretend like I've played it a lot and I'm some kind of expert that could maybe answer questions, even though I'm definitely not and can't answer shit. I think I come off that way by accident. It's the liquid courage. Oh, I already got a scholarship back. That hurts. But I do have 2 emails. So maybe one of them is a scholarship coming to me, and it's not. It's just Charles Johnson going to Clemson. Don't remember which dude that was. Charles Johnson. Who was that? Was that the center or the point guard? Please be the center. All right, so we still got a shot at the shooting guard. He's into location. We're going to pitch it. Cool. Let's take a look at the point. All right. Nope, we're going after Bootsy. We're hot. He didn't commit for whatever reason. I should have unlocked all this stuff earlier, and I just didn't because I've been streaming for 2 hours, and my brain is scattered. But he's good with location as well. That's as good as anything for me. Let's go. Small forward. Please tell me, yes, this is Charles. No, we didn't offer there. So it was the center. Okay. All right, Eddie. Now, here's the thing, because earlier we couldn't jump these guys, but now that we can get in Holmes, maybe we can jump them. Now, he was decent at Indy. This guy was top 5 at Memphis, and he's got no other offers sitting there. Where is he with us? Warm? Yes, let's go for George. We're going to offer him. We're going to visit him. We're going to talk about coach discipline. That's what he wants to hear. We got that. And then come over to our man, Tremaine. Tremaine, what are you doing? Nobody else is offering you. You've loved us from the beginning. Come play for the conference prestige. You got this, baby. You got this. Let's go. Hold on. All right, we did offer George. We have no scholarships left to offer. Just making sure I didn't screw that up. All right, let's go to the office just so we're not on this screen when we go. Shots fired, Singe. Yeah, he said I should have been fired, but I didn't get any justification for it. It was year 1. It was year 1, and I won 11 more games than Kenny Payne won. So take that for what it's worth. Oh, let's take a look at this. This is going to be at least 2 commitments. I think we got both these guys. Bootsy's our man. Martin's our man. That's right. We got 2 of them. We lost none of them. Let's check out the scheduling. I'm not getting fired. It's not happening. I'm sorry to tell you. The team that I've got right now is good enough to make the NIT and go 500. They almost went 500 last year. They lost nobody. They added 1 very good player and at least 1 accomplished backups, maybe 2. I'm not getting fired. And look at this. Look at this out of conference schedule. All home games, only 1, 2 against high majors, where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in the out of conference easily. So that puts us 1 ahead of last year already. It's not happening. We're going above 500. We're going above 500 prestige, and we might go 500 in the conference. We're going to fight for 500 in the conference. So, no, not getting fired in year 2. Not happening. This is my personal guarantee. If I get fired in year 2, I will send you all the money back that I made from the making of this video. So, there you go. Money back guarantee. All right, so we got guards. We lost Gibson to Clemson, which hurts. Because he was a really, really highly rated player. I do understand it, though. Well, okay, I don't understand them getting 2 of them. But I do understand that we already had 2 of them. I get that. Check out the power forwards. Tremaine just doesn't want to commit. Why not? Bro, we're the only school coming after you. We love you. Come play for us, please. Small forwards, nothing doing. Everybody going to UAB, whatever. All right, so we got an extra scholarship. Should we throw it to Marcelo, top 25 at Memphis? Yeah, why not? We need guards. He's an outside shooter, scorer. I wouldn't do this in later saves where I was more developed, had more depth. But, yeah, for now, bring in talent. Wherever you can, any way you can. Oh, yeah, the standard's absolutely fallen. We started this off at 40, 48 prestige, 43 prestige. Like, that's the whole reason that I'm running this Louisville Cardinals save, is because the prestige of Louisville in this year's game is embarrassing to levels that I can't explain. It's so embarrassing. The standard's fallen off so hard. All right, so there you can see we already got Marcelo. We got 4 emails. We don't have any available scholarships. That means we've got 2. Only one. Tremaine still hasn't committed? That was a dude I thought would commit week 1, actually. He hasn't committed elsewhere, which is nice. But he's definitely holding out for an offer from somewhere else, so... I don't know what in the heck's the problem. Like, we're pitching conference prestige every time. We're not jumping ahead of Georgia and Wake Forest regardless of what we do. Are you more interested in location? Yeah, a little bit. Let's talk about location. That's our last commit that we need. If we don't get him, we move on with the big man that we already have. Yeah, Louisville, we only won. There we go. We got Tremaine. So, yes, in real life, Louisville basketball this year was absolutely their worst school. Like, not only in the last 50 years, last 100 years, it was the worst record in school history. So, yeah, absolutely. Has the standard fallen? Yeah. Are we trying to rebuild the entire program? Yeah. This game has reflected that to some degree, and I'm jumping in, throwing on the superhero, Superman cape, whatever, super cards cape, and trying to pull them back to some respectability. But obviously this is fictional, which is problematic. But let's take a look at this recruiting class that we got, because this is where we're going to end the stream. So we know the roster that we have, right? Hold on. Let's take a look. So we know we've got Hughes and Bowman here, the freshman and the sophomore, holding down the inside as far as the center position goes. Cunningham has the stars, but he's a total fraud as far as I'm concerned. So these are the only 2 legit inside players that we have, but we have Tremaine Jenkins coming to fill that in. So that'll give us 3 big men next year, and 3 very accomplished big men in my opinion. And I don't think any of them are a danger to go pro early. And I'm cautiously optimistic that none of them will transfer, although playing one of these 2 centers out of position could cause a transfer issue. So I am conscientious of that. At the small forward, Green is obviously our answer. Ed Branch is our backup answer there. He's fine. He's going to develop into something good. I might actually redshirt Cunningham. I don't know. I'll have to think about that in between now and the next stream. When we come down to the guards, we've got Randall and Barnes. Neither of them are fantastic, but we've added 3 guys from the freshman class. So let's go ahead and take a look at this freshman class. First of all, we'll look at Jenkins, who we knew straight away was all right. Top 10 player at Memphis. That's going to be a solid player, especially jumping into the lineup that we have. So now, Marcelo Evans, decent at Indy, top 25 at Memphis. Bootsy Mance, top 25 at Memphis. One of those 2 guys is going to be fine. 3 and 4 stars. They're right there in that range that we're looking for, right? Like we would, if if we were a 70 to 80 prestige school, we would be looking for something more than this. But all we're trying to do is go 500 and make the NIT. These dudes can do that even in their freshman year. Once they develop, they're going to get even better. And then throw in Martin Smith. This is another guy, top 25 at Memphis. So this is just, again, adding more depth, adding more options. So now we look at next year. As long as neither of our centers transfer out, we've got 3 really solid guys on the inside, 2 extremely solid small forwards, and honestly, like 5 guards. And that's a recipe for moving on up to the next level of competition. I don't know how to finish that off. Like, this is how you build it up. You bring in talent, you double down on talent so that if someone leaves, you've got a backup option, and you just keep doing it. So all that we have to do at this point, qualify for the NIT, top half of the conference, win 15 games, improve school prestige. We're at 60%. We really don't want to drop to 40. So that means what we need to do is hit 2 of these goals. And I think win 15 games is the obvious one because we did that last year and we returned every single player. And I think out of these other 3, we could probably do any one of them, which would keep us at 60. If we do 2 of them, we're moving up. So I think that we've got this safe, relatively decent footing. We really need these guards. We really need these guards to do it, but the offensive proficiencies are only going to grow throughout the year. We've got Kendrick that can step in. His defense isn't great. But he can step in and be a secondary over here. Actually, Kincaid's better. Kincaid's much better. So I do think that we have the players here. I think we've got this. Let's take a quick look at the roster. Scoring. We've got a 7, a 6, and 2 5s. Defense. 2 6s, 2 3 5s, and a 4. That's a mediocre team. Last year we had a bad roster. This is a decent roster. We still have Ballman with the 9 inside scoring to throw us a game that we don't deserve every now and then. And Hughes with the 8 can also do it because his scoring's actually a little better and his rebounding's a little better, especially his offensive rebounding and defense. His athleticism a little worse. So these guys can kill it on the inside. Maybe we focus a little inside this year. It's a thought. But anyway, this is definitely a team that can make these goals that have been put in front of us. I'm going to go ahead and save it right now so you can see it. Saving. Hands off. Hands off. We're saved. We're out. We're still the coach. We got a big second year coming up, but I'm optimistic about this second year, and I'm definitely optimistic about this recruiting class. Thank you all so much for watching, whether it was on Twitch, whether it was on YouTube, whether you commented, whether you didn't, whether you're in Twitch commenting after the fact on YouTube, whatever you're doing. Thanks so much for the interaction. I appreciate it. I'll try to respond to you. I know Chris will try to respond to you if I miss you, but we greatly appreciate it. And thanks for watching. I'll try to be back in the next week or two just to keep the basketball going while this NCAA tournament's in flux. Like, I'll try to carry y'all through the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing while we wait for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. So thank y'all. Catch y'all next time. This is Cards. I'm out.